Is there anyone who can tell me what that is?
Wait, gotta wait till we get it. Our Christmas tree has not got it yet. Thanks. Oh boy.
Alright, is there anyone who can take a guess of what that might be?
Is it a lung?
Popcorn lung.
Lung, it's your lung.
That's it.
Damage.
Popcorn.
What is it?
A lung.
Popcorn lung.
It's a picture of someone's lung who is a very avid user of e-cigarettes and vape.
Ah, e-cigarettes. Welcome to your world. Good girl. Good, good, good.
Before I get started, show of hands is how many of you guys have ever taken like a hit or a pull of a vape? Yeah.
Whoa, wait a minute. Look at that. Do that again.
That's
delicious.
Really?
How
Delicious.
How many of you guys actually own your own pen or Google?
I will admit I do not.
Okay. Can I ask Jaden, like, why do you have one? And why do you use it?
I don't know. I haven't
I
done
love
it for a
my
while, but I used to do it because it'd give you a nice buzz and it tastes good.
That's what Aaron said.
So, nearly 40 years ago, it was reported by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services that up to 29% of high school seniors smoke cigarettes daily. We've since learned that smoking is extremely unhealthy for you.
You think?
We've seen thousands upon thousands of people get treated for various cancers that you and I would never want to wish on another person. Thankfully, society has moved away from cigarettes for the most part. Taking its place, however, is a trend that has hit middle schools, high schools, and colleges across the nation. Of course, it's called vaping. So vape is basically to inhale and exhale the aerosol produced by an electronic cigarette or similar device. What happens is that the device heats a liquid that usually contains nicotine mixed with chemicals, propylene glycol, and glycerin.
Mm-hmm.
There's usually also a flavoring added to the mixture, like bubblegum or watermelon, whatever. Many people assume that this aerosol is as harmless as like water vapor, but this is not the case. The nicotine in Juuls and vape pens is a cardiovascular stimulant, which means that it makes your heart beat faster. So if you're a person with heart disease, the nicotine can potentially worsen your condition. Even in e-cigarettes that don't have nicotine, there are still dangerous chemicals contained within the device. According to the FDA, many of these chemicals can lead to cancer or respiratory disease. For instance, there's a chemical found in most e-cigarettes called diacetyl. This is a chemical that is usually added to like popcorn to give it its like buttery taste, but it's also added to a lot of e-cigarettes for some reason. And when it's heated up and inhaled, it's been proven that it can be linked to respiratory disease when you inhale diacetyl. This respiratory disease is called bronchiolitis obliterans, which is more commonly known as popcorn lung. And that's basically when the small airways in your lungs become damaged and it can make you cough a lot and make you short of breath. The CDC reports that roughly 3.3% of middle schoolers use electronic cigarettes, and 11.7% of high schoolers use e-cigarettes as well. And when you think of 11.7%, it doesn't sound like much, but it is, because there are roughly 15 million high schoolers in America right now, and 11.7 of 15 million is about 1.75 million. So that's almost 2 million kids in our country that use this. And 2 million might not sound like a lot, but it
sounds like a lot.
You can't really comprehend. With so many people buying and using e-cigarettes, the vaping industry has gone through the roof, raking in hundreds of millions of dollars every financial quarter. And now tobacco companies, the same ones that got us hooked on cigarettes for so long, they may look to invest in like Juul. So in order to combat this issue, some big changes need to be made. There should be stricter regulations in the buying and distribution of Juuls and vapes. These regulations should be geared towards making sure that teens especially are kept away from these until they are of age. The nicotine and chemical content should also be lower or even done away with completely. With the huge increase in vaping use among teens and students, the FDA is actually already calling for new regulations from e-cigarette companies. The FDA wants these companies to get rid of the numerous flavors because they appeal to youth. That's why kids are vaping so much. In addition, the company that produces Juuls, they've already started pulling all their flavors from retail stores across America. These flavors are still like available on their website, but anyone who wants to buy a Juul has to like go through an age verification and ID verification before being approved to buy them. This is a good step in the right direction that hopefully other e-cigarette companies should follow. Once we have stricter regulations on Juuls and vapes, there should be a steady decrease in e-cigarette use in today's middle schools and high schools. There will be fewer kids who have to deal with the consequences of nicotine addiction as well as the dangerous side effects of the chemicals in vapes. On the picture that got handed out to all of you, there's a website link. If you were to search it on Google, it gives you a website that will give you about top 10 tips on how to quit vaping. If you guys happen to know someone who uses e-cigarettes constantly and you think they are addicted, I strongly suggest that you give them this handout. And even if you find yourself in an addiction to this stuff, then I suggest just take a look at it for yourself because you might learn a thing or two.